Yeah, good morning, everyone. I'm Sukirti, working as Assistant Professor, IT Department in Rishi MS Institute of Engineering and Technology for Women. I welcome you all to the webinar on AI and blockchain technologies. Blockchain and artificial intelligence are two of the hottest technology trends right now. That's why the Rishi chosen to conduct this webinar today. So before going to start this webinar, I will be introducing our college. Rishi MS Institute of Engineering and Technology for Women was established in 2009 in memory of Bharat Ratna Srimati MS Subbalakshmi ji to emulate moral values and quality parameters in technical education. Rishi MS Engineering College is located near JNTUH Metro Station, Kukatpalli, Hyderabad, approved by AICTE New Delhi and affiliated to JNTUH Hyderabad with 300 intake in CSC, ECE, IT specialization. Founder Chairman late Sri P. Vamanrao was Joint Secretary and Director Information, Public Relations and Tourism and Films in Government of AP and served at Birla Group of Industries as Chief and Chairman Audit Committee and also member in various committees on the board of HIL. Founder member Ms. Rajeshri, Secretary Correspondent, promotes women's empowerment with the inspiration of renowned philosopher Jiddu Krishnamurti to ensure empowerment of women by providing modern scientific and quality education of global standards on a strong foundation of Indian culture and values. She is also a member in Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan School Committee, Jubilee Hills, Hyderabad for 4 years, and also a panel member of SAPNet to produce films on education, art, and culture for Mana TV. Received Vikas Ratna Gold Medal Award from International Integration Society, New Delhi. Rishi MS aim is to make learning has choice for students in their chosen area of study. And next, coming to our achievements, next coming to the achievements, IITH research project at Rishi premises on IoT and AI ML, and we are doing hardware and AI based Smart India hackathon product development for final round in July. And in ISB program, 21 students are building prototype in IoT and AI. More than 78 innovative ideas were guided by Rishi MS Incubation Cell this year, out of which 20 are submitted to Government of India Development Funds. If you have idea, we at Rishi promise to provide 100% guidance to take your idea to next level by giving right industry bank advisory. Many more to share and looking forward to see you all in upcoming IIT learning session and upcoming advanced Python training and AR or VR training.
Order తీసుకుందాం.
Yeah, many more to share and looking forward to see you all in upcoming IIT learning session, upcoming advanced Python training and AR or VR training. In our college, training and placement cell is well established. Main focus is to provide guidance and opportunities for placement and encourage entrepreneurship. The training and placement cell is taken care by our Vice Principal Lakshmi Tulasi ma'am. I feel elated to welcome you ma'am to this webinar. Welcome ma'am.
Thank you so much, Sukirti ma'am.
Yeah ma'am, welcome ma'am. And I feel privileged to welcome Mr. Vijay to this webinar. Welcome sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, now I'm going to introduce Vijay. Mr. Vijay. Now I'm going to introduce Mr. Vijay. Vijay is an Accenture ex-Deloitte, worked in more than 10 countries across various industries and also an expert in SAP, energy and utilities for manufacturing, delivering SAP, ISU and ODS projects integrated with S4 HANA, and IoT and ML and blockchain and smart grid. Vijay has more than 15 years of experience leading product and service strategy for large enterprise software companies. And Vijay Gunti is an assured professional with proven success in the areas of digital enterprise service transformation, that is IoT and IIoT and Industry 4.0 and big data and ML and EL and AI and cognitive and RPA and AR and VR and 3D and blockchain and SAP, IoT, Linode and DevOps and aftermarket services. Presently founder or promoter of IoT Labs, and he is an eloquent speaker at multiple forums, seminars, chapters, and conferences, and blog writer on various digital transformation approaches and technology innovations. With over 15 years of experience as the senior software business executive, Vijay places a deep focus on delivering high impact solutions to the market that help customers develop informed, timely insights to establish new modes of engaging their workforce and customers. I would like to hand over it to now. Vijay will discuss about AI and blockchain technologies. I would like to hand over it to Vijay, sir. You get
Uh,
started, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Good morning, all. I am Vijay. People call me Vijay Gunchi. So before starting this session, right, the webinar for the approximately 1 hour 15 minutes, I would recommend everyone to mute. I would recommend everyone to mute. For example, your speakers, your videos. And also I recommend everyone, because this 1 hour of session will be a talk from my side. Please, guys, please understand that, right? Please don't unmute yourself. So it will be a session for 1 hour, which I'm going to speak. And you please use the chat window for the question and answers. And we will delegate the question and answers at the end of the session, at the end of the webinar. So how we are taking this agenda, please understand. First will be the kind of introduction. We'll to go through all the different technologies and AI and blockchain, how it is evolving and need of the day for the future in the new emerging technologies and digital transformation. And we will go with a specific use case, like we'll take one example, how AI and blockchain can be implemented. And the third, we will see the demo, the same use case which we are going to discuss. We will see it as a demo. Like I'll show you end to end, and then in that aspect also, what I did is to, because the audience is more into the faculty and the students, I am going to show you the code also, right? Because that will be a added advantage to you people, saying that what are the prerequisites, right? It's not only the demo part, which is an end-to-end execution. I would like to share my thoughts on the aspects of, for example, what are the prerequisites to deliver this use case? Like if you want to develop a coding, right? I want to write coding, or I want to develop the application on your own. What are the prerequisites? You have to do it on the coding part. So this is what the agenda which we are trying to look into this aspect. So guys, let's start it. Again, I am reminding you, please use your chat window to get the question and answers. It can be any questions. Please drop all your questions on the group chat. So you have a group chat on the Zoom. Go there. There is a chat window which is accessible to everyone. So you click the everyone button and drop your message, your question right over there. At the end of the webinar, we will answer that question to you. Okay, let's start. Let's start the webinar now. So what I'll try to do is I'll share my screen now, and we will go like this is a PPT presentation format, which I'm going to share the information to you, and followed by the use case and followed by the coding. Yeah, please. So guys, can you see the screen, right? You please, please say yes or no. So I would like to see guys to.
Yes, Vijay, we are able to see.
Perfect. That should be. Okay. So guys, you know, right? We are under a lockdown situation at this point of time. So, you know, the COVID-19 has changed the entire business perspective and the learning perspective of individual companies and corporates. And the need of the day and the need of the hour is entering into this new digitization phase. Guys, next 1 hour, I recommend you guys mute all your phones, diversions, mute yourself. Only listen. You listen to this 1 hour, it will be a game changer for your future. Right? Whoever it is who going to listen to this, right? You will have a clear roadmap for your careers, for your jobs, for your future prospective things. Please listen to this because we are covering end-to-end theory, business scenarios, as well as we are covering the demo part. I'm talking about application, live application. We are showing it to you. So these three things we'll have to have that. Again, I'm reminding you guys. Because we have a very short time. I will try to complete the sessions. Like first, let me complete the presentation. And then we'll have the questionnaires after that because we have only a 1 hour 15 minutes left in our session. So let me complete that, and I will take the questions by the end of the webinar. I mean, I'm talking more on the theoretical part.
Vijay, can we have the full screen?
I'll do that. All perfect now. Again, I'm reminding you guys. Please mute yourself. By fortunate or unfortunate, if it is unmuted, please check and please mute yourself. Again, as I was saying to you all, that the future emerging technologies, as a future digital enterprise or digital consultant or digital transformation, you name anything, whether it's an IoT and what are the technologies you need to learn? For example, you are entering into your new era of digital technologies. So if I am a student, if I am a like a professional or a faculty or any other person who would like to know which technologies which will rule in the at least next 5 to 10 years. So these are the technologies, guys. Remember, these are the only one and all technologies you have to acquaint yourself. So if you learn something out of it, you will put into this one of the buckets of technology. It's your area of interest which you want to get into this. So today we are only covering on the AI and blockchain, but as a future career perspective or technology guy, you should know all this. So for example, in this, as I said, you right, I'll not cover too detailed into this aspects of the, because our topic is more into the AI and blockchain. So what I'll try to do is a glimpse of why this is required, why these technologies are required, because you might have heard this technology, guys, in your journey. Like, because in the last 2 months, if you have heard this, everyone is talking of these technologies only, like how this entire technologies will convert yourself into a digital world, a remotely connected world, social distancing world, and contactless world. So these are the technologies should be in place to inculcate those transformation technologies. Please remember that. Okay. So in this entire world of technologies, if you understand that, the first comes is known as the Internet of Things. So people might have heard Internet of Things is a connected world. If you want to connect any physical device, you have to go with the IoT, which is the buzzword in today. Like you're putting a sensor in any physical device with a connectivity, with an internet on top of it, becomes an Internet of Things. So putting your hardware device, exposing it to the internet is an Internet of Things. The same thing which you move with to an industry. For example, you are working on a manufacturing industry, and you are working for any other automotive industry. For example, you might have heard a car, like autonomous cars, like most of the things are driverless cars, like Tesla is coming up. So these all things, if you implement the same sensor technology on, for example, on this contactless world of autonomous world. So you will see mostly these emerging technologies of industrial Internet of Things. So if you implement the same concept of connected world into an industry, it becomes an industrial Internet of Things. Or if you implement on a local, like a consumer world, it becomes a consumer Internet of Things. So there is another buzzword which is widely quite popular in the market, is Industry 4.0. If you have heard this, because guys, I will introduce only the jargons of the world and what it is about this. Two deeper things, every topic is one a webinar. If you ask me, each topic is a webinar to me. Okay, so that is what the aspect of the Internet of Things. Just hold on 1 second. Okay, so that is what the aspect of the Internet of Things, industrial Internet of Things, Industry 4.0. So the next buzzword is Industry 4.0. When you say Industry 4.0, is the entire amalgamation of the ecosystem. There is so these are the buzzwords which are in the market, especially in the connected world. Guys, remember, this is the first world of the sensing, like any aspect of any physical device. I'm talking about any physical device. You have to make it into a connected world. For example, you want to connect it, like, for example, a connected world of a smart home. Like example, I'm giving it to you. Like, you want to convert your home into a smart home, like smart classroom. Like anything you want to connect to a smarter world, you have to absolutely use IoT as a connector. That is a step one. That is the first aspect here. The second thing is nothing but once the data, means the sensing of the sensor world emits the data. So for that, once it emits the data, there is huge amounts of data. Data is collecting every 1 minute, 30 minutes, or whatever your time frame you are giving it, it collects the data. So that is converted into a huge database. Like today, you might be hearing of SQL, so and so. It's a storage of the databases. So that will be huge data, is nothing but your big data, like converting of all the data. Okay, so so that is one aspect of the big data world. So once the data is collected, see, I'm giving you the entire, guys, in the next 5 to 10 minutes, please understand, I'm giving you the entire ecosystem of data, like how data is generated, how data is analyzed, how data is automated, and how data is visualized, and how data is valued. So the entire value chain of the data, I'm giving it to you, because today, what you can see, right, all the market standards are saying that data is oil. The data is the future. Without data, you cannot do anything. Okay, so now we are saying that IoT generates the data, like, and big data stores the data, right? For example, once you get the data, you have huge amounts of data. Now, what you have to do is you have to analyze the data, because right, what predictions I have to do, whether I will tomorrow I will go and buy this, like in Amazon you'll get predictions, like your recommendations. So how are we going to do the recommendations, which is nothing but your analysis? So once that analysis is done, then on top of the analysis phase, you have to invest your time to automate the process. For example, the automation is automatically, it has, like, for example, today you have a lot of data available, like remotely switching off things automatically. If something machine is getting failed, it has to automatically switch it off. So any automation, like your car, right, automatically, that's what driverless cars are saying. You have to automatically start the car, or like you have to do everything's automation. So that's known as the artificial intelligence. Okay, so you have to understand that once the data is automated, now the final thing is that, right, how do I visualize the data? See, at the end of the day, you are big, like today you are using mobile devices. Mobile devices is, how do you feel like you are using WhatsApp? You are using so many other front-end tools to visualize the data. which is the future aspect. So today, but today, what the new technologies is happening is real-time connection. Like for example, you might have heard augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality. Like if you have been in the world of Pokemon Go, so you have an immersive experience. You will get into the digging of each individual aspects of the thing and you feel into that. So like the customer also wants to, needs to feel, right? I am really into that and trying to explore the data. So that is where to me is augmented reality and virtual reality. So in a nutshell, I'm repeating it, you guys. I know it's a new jargon that's coming to it. IoT senses or connects or collects the data. Step one. Big data stores the data. Machine learning analyzes the data. Artificial intelligence automates the data. And AR, VR, and like for example, which visualizes the data. Okay, this is an end-to-end ecosystem of any industrial application perspective. You take any project, like for example, or you want to do any implementation or any end-to-end process of your scenario, any scenario, you have to have all these technologies in place. Where AI and blockchain is bits and pieces, but you want to do end-to-end. These are the must-have technologies in your application. Okay, so that is what is absolutely about this. And the final thing is a blockchain. Like why blockchain? You absolutely know, right? The world of because the topic of ours is a blockchain kind of a thing. I will introduce more into this aspect of blockchain. So the blockchain is all about your, I know you might be heard like blockchain was 10 years back in 2009. The Bitcoin world is came up. And then, but the last 5 years, there is a revolution phase. Why blockchain is about the trust, transparency, and immutability. What is that is whatever data you are storing, right? It has to be really not fudged or not delayed. Today's entire digital world of data technologies have some kind of a discrepancies. So what this blockchain will give you is trusted data. See, for example, today, we mostly rely, like for example, you do a bank to bank, like you have to transfer money from one person to other person. You rely on banks. Example, I'm giving it. So you want to do some transactions, whether it's a government transactions or land settlement transactions, you will do with a middleman. So because there's a trust there. So to have the trust factor into that aspect, we ideally introduce the blockchain. Blockchain, what it will do is it will create an opportunity of the trust factor. To avoid the middleman, we use the blockchain. So blockchain is nothing but your chain, right? It's a chain of events so that that particular chain cannot be cut, right? So no one can hack into this particular aspect of the chain technology. That's what is very strong about the block by block, it gets connected. So this is one more technology, which is an added technology to make your data as a ledger and transparent and audited. Okay, so there are other technologies which are very, very popular today is an added technology. Like for example, the cognitive world of computing. What is this cognitive world of computing? You might have heard today. I know you might have heard of Alexa. So many people have heard of Alexa because this is a voice. Today, no one has the time to ideally log in and then type it out. So everyone wants to be a voice. The moment they say my voice is there, yes, it's absolutely an Alexa right over there. So the voice-based cognitive intelligence is absolutely getting popular now. So that's what we use the word of chatbot, and we through voice or to text-based chatbot or user interface chatbot, or like for example virtual assistant. Okay, last but not least, guys, remember this is the future world. Means you might have seen a lot of movies, right? There are a lot of robots coming up and then doing everything very, very fast of world. So for that, today's machines, if you understand that today's machines, what you are having, your laptops or your mobiles or whatever it is, It is not heavy computing because there is a huge amount of data. See, what I'm talking about today, you know, gigabytes of data, like, you know, petabytes of data. There is gigabytes of data. So there is a huge amount of data. So the processing power today, you might have known, right? Maximum my laptop is 16 GB RAM, or like that's it, the memory capacity. But you have to process this huge amount of data in seconds of time. So what is the solution? So Google came up with known as in artificial intelligence, Google came up with the known as GPUs. Okay, so what now people are talking about it. Let's get into the world of quantum world. Quantum world is nothing but you might have heard physics, quantum atoms, molecules. So this is an entirely different world. If anyone wants to think about stuff, okay, you are in the first year of engineering, right? What is my future until the end of this year, right? For example, by the end of like final year, can I do something like, because that becomes a reality. For example, quantum com in the next 2-3 years, it will come as a reality. Today, it's maybe a hype. So some of the technologies, like for example, I'm talking about it, the present and the future technologies. In this entire 15 technologies, if I name it, right? For example, IoT and AI and blockchain is the present technologies. If you are in a 4th year, or if you're in 3rd year, and if you are trying, like if you are looking at career, yes, these are the technologies. You need to jump right into that. So if you are having some time, you can explore that. Yes, you can explore the other technologies. I'm talking about more of the cognitive computing, quantum computing, 3D printing. So these are all the next emerging technologies which you can invest your time and make a perspective, an absolute career out of it. Okay, so said that, guys, please use the chat window. I would recommend, if you have any questions, please try using the chat window, and we will be like, I know these are you might be using for you might be hearing for the first time. I still recommend to use the chat window and start asking questions there. Okay, so said the trade, I have introduced the jargons of technologies. Like now you know what are the digital emerging technologies which will disrupt me. Me means I, like I, for the next 5 years to be into the market. You want to be into the market, into this innovation field, into the new emerging technologies, whether you want to do anything, these are the technologies. Erstwhile technologies are there, like for example, the Java technologies, the .NET technologies, the mobile technologies is absolutely fine. Okay, so that way you have this option. One second. Okay, so said that, right? Let's deep dive into the next emerging technologies. So guys, as I told you that, right, the end-to-end ecosystem. So when you go and try to introduce yourself and be talking about this, right, you have to know that what are the 6 C's. So now I have to tell you what are the 6 points, right? This is all the IoT, AI, blockchain, AR, VR comes into the 6 C's. That's what they term it as, right? Like for example, it's the same concept, like create, collect, communicate, consolidate, conclude, and choice. So you have to know all the 6 C's. What are the 6 C's? As like little bit, I'll not go deeper into these aspects of that. Create is sensors, where you have a physical device, you have to connect it, you have to add a sensor, and it generates the data. For example of that. So next aspect is you have to collect it. As I said, you read the collect is guys, remember I know you have questions. When you raise a hand, please use the chat window. We'll have questions at the end of the session. Please use the chat window and start putting the questions right over there. Okay. So next is collect. Collect is nothing but where your data is collected and stored, which is nothing but your big data. Next is communication. Today, why communication is very, very important. Today, you are entering into the world of 5G. Guys, remember, still we're in the world of 4G in India, but outside countries, the 5G network is very high speed because this entire connected world of technologies should have a high bandwidth. So we have to have the 5G, which is nothing but your communication. Today is 5G is not about your internet communication. Next, for example, next is consolidated, where you have consolidated is nothing but your entire machine learning and artificial intelligence. You're analyzing the data, you're automating the data, and finally giving this output of the data to the outside world. Okay. The next is conclude. Conclude is absolutely nothing but your as I said, you right, visualization. Like for example, output of the output, how it is rendering it out, how it is coming to it, and finally insights. Right, what actions I have to take, what is the final action I have to take on this particular action. Right, for example, there is a machine failure. Example, I'm in industrial perspective. There's a machine failure, like or else right in the Amazon recommendation is there is a personal recommendation of you buying this cloth. So can you add it to the cart? So it's your choice. How do you act upon that? Okay. So if these are the mandatory things that I'm talking about, like IoT, AI, blockchain, and AR/VR. On top of it, it's your added technologies you can add to it, like to make it more robust, more informative. It's like it depends on project to project. Like for example, you are a computer science engineer and you are a computer science related profession. You can take some technologies and implement it. Or, oh no, I am an electronics. I am good at IoT. So you can take that. I am an electrical, I'm in electrical profession. So different professions can pick and choose these technologies and take. Like I'm a mechanical engineer, right? I'm just I'm for that. I'm more into the AR/VR. So I need to work with machines. So there are so many other aspects of technological advances you can pick and choose after. So, but in a nutshell, if you want to implement any project, you have to remember the 6 C's. What are the 6 C's? You please take care of it. Create, again, I'm repeating this slide. There are 6 C's. What are the 6 C's? Create, collect, communicate, consolidate, conclude, choice. Create is IoT. It is nothing but you are more into the machine learning, and conclude is nothing but your, for example, you can use the artificial intelligence and AR/VR, and choice is absolutely is an action, like more into the you can add a blockchain, you can add a UI, you can use, for example, your cognitive skills. So it's up to your choice, right? What choice you want to take. Finally, it's an action you have to take. Okay. Said that, next go to the next slide again. Now you have understood, right? You know, implement this because we have to understand. It's not guys. I am available on the internet. I'm only giving a flavor to it how this entire technological perspective, AI, IoT, and blockchain can be implemented into an end-to-end world for you. Because why I'm introducing, though it's an AI blockchain, because the source of data, what you're talking about, comes from the IoT. I'm introducing that flavor to you, but overall, this webinar is more into the AI and blockchain. So the same aspect, which we can see that I have put it into an architecture block. IoT, the same. Like if you see, these are the devices you see from the screen. These are the remaining different devices and sensors with the wired and wireless with the 5G. And here I'm using a word known as edge. Like for example, why edge is very popular? If you are into the electronics world, into the IoT world, or into the electronics and communication world, you have an edge devices, which is an IoT devices, which connects and stores the data, and finally it has to send it to cloud. So cloud is very popular today. If you know, right, you are Amazon AWS or Azure or Google or SAP or any other cloud applications where you push the data. Because why cloud? You also know. Today, in a distancing world scenario, cloud is very prominent. Guys, remember, cloud is the future. If your project is not involving any cloud, so it's a physical device, but the future people will ask you definitely whether you have hosted, you have worked on AWS, or you have done some knowledge or work or like related to AWS or Azure or GCP, whatever it is. They will definitely see should be a cloud on your profile. Without cloud, no future, because cloud will make you say that you are connected to the systems or connected to the world. And finally, once the data is accumulated, that's where we have to know, right? For example, you can add machine learning techniques, algorithms. So that is what the final aspect can be cloud, where the cloud, like AWS has its own services, which you can try and then add that aspect of end-to-end stack. So guys, this is again, I'm repeating the same steps: tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. This slide, tier 1 is more of an IoT, tier 2 is more of an edge, tier 3 is more of a cloud management. When you say cloud management, it's more of the machine learning, artificial intelligence, and tier 4 is more of an AR VR, like where it is connected to the outside world, like whether it's a mobile, whether it's a so 4 steps to analyze and machine learning. Step 4 is nothing but your AR VR on your mobile device. So if your application has all these 3 in a real time, if your application which you're developing, which has this all 4 buckets, then you are in an innovation project. If you implement all these 4 technologies, you are doing an innovation project end to end. Yes, you can do a bits and pieces, like I'm talking about AI. For example, you can tell an example. I have the data already. I have a real-time data. I have a data in a form of Excel sheet or in a form of database. Yes, I will only implement AI and blockchain. Okay. So, but again, absolutely, you'll say that, right? Oh, I just want to get like I don't need a blockchain because I just want to see, right? I want to monitor the data. For example, the data on artificial. So I need an AI and AR VR or AI or a simple visualization tool. So it depends on, as I said, it depends on the stack what you're taking, and depends on the project what you want to develop on that. Okay, again, I'm just reminding you guys, I know this is a topic which you might be hearing, most of the students or most of the people are hearing for the first time. I'm still reminding and repeating, please use the chat window to have the question and answers. I know people will be interested to ask the questions then and there itself. It's easy to resolve, but I'm requesting and recommending that, right? If you have any questions at this point of time, please use the chat window. We'll have the questions at the end of the session, end of the webinar. Okay. This is a very beautiful diagram, guys. See, this diagram or this particular picture should be a Bible to you. You take this picture or a printout or whatever, a copy, and store it. Like it can be your desktop wallpaper also, because this particular slide will give you the end-to-end ecosystem. Like for example, in one nutshell, if you can understand, see sensors, like again the network, which is a 5G network, which is an edge network I'm talking about, and next it is going to cloud and doing an artificial intelligence, and finally it is rendering as an output. Okay, so this is one beautiful diagram. Please guys, try to understand this diagram, and with this one diagram you can explain any application. Like I know, right, like we are helping Rishi in some of the cases, like for example, like how to make an autonomous things, like using these technologies, how this entire technologies can implemented into an end to world, like which applications are, like for example, take a smart city world, like automatic management system, attendance management system, like you can take up the agriculture, for example, like for example, logistics, healthcare, manufacturing, any industry. And also I I recommend you guys, right? The future, whether it's the future industries I'm talking about, right? They are looking applications to be developed in today's economical world. When you try to do projects or when you try to learn, right? Think that how this can be scalable, how these technologies can be implemented in a real world, that it is beneficiary in tomorrow's world. That is one of the strong recommendations by me and by the market. For example, you're trying to develop a project or trying to learn something, trying to do something, how this entire application can use this innovation. Try see that, right? How this all technologies can be inculcated into your existing project or future project. For example, you're in 4th year, you want to do a project. Yes, take one application and try to see it, how this fits into your application. You do little bit of research, little bit of understanding, and try to use these technologies and see whether that will be a right value to you. Okay, guys. So next go into a specific, because this is what I want to give a small idea. Like I know most of the people might want to know, right? Hey, what are the applications? Like Vijay is saying so many things here, right? Can I try and implement some examples? I'll give you a small example. I'll not talk you to like a big example, right? So that are some thoughts. Like take a logistic small example. Like for example, you go and see, right? You go to a lot of kirana shops. You go to a lot of malls, right? There is some, like everyone sees that there is a fridge there. There is something like cold storage where they store all the things. But most of the cases you might have got some problem saying that, hey, most of the some of the rotten, because they, like we keep on outing it and then the temperature is not maintained properly. So that is one small example, right, where you can see that, right, you can monitor the temperature of the cold storage or the refrigerator or whatever it is. A small example using this IoT, AI and blockchain. Like that, you can use so many other technologies. That's what I'm saying. There are a lot of other technologies you can do that. I'll give a small example. Like that, you can think that, right, and then see how that, like in an automotive, right? For example, I want to do a vehicle monitoring system. Like I want to monitor my vehicle. Like a critical, like I want to monitor my attendance. I want to monitor so many energy, or like you can talk about environment. Like there's a lot of pollution is happening. I want to monitor my pollution. Like I want to monitor my like the vehicle movement. So there are a lot of applications today. You can use this technology and then see the value out of it. Okay, so this is a small nutshell I am giving you guys. And after this, right, we'll just see what are the different. Okay. So before going, this is an overview. So what I gave you and the basic applications I've given it to you, I showed it to you. The architecture you had. So also the nutshell, what I want to see it, any application, if you see this one, I'm talking about, you take any application. I'm talking about a storage application or like any smart city application or a smart attendance application. This architecture remains the same, guys. You learn once, the architecture remains same to any application. Just remember that. Learn once, apply anyway. That's a beauty of that's a beauty of this application. The entire architecture is learned once. Okay, so why I'm just repeating is this is right, because our mind will not take more and more, it cannot digest more and more information. So I'm trying to see that, right, whatever short it is covered, repeatable to you, right, reusable wherever you want to use it. Okay, so said that, I'll next, guys, just see some questions before I just go into the next session. Yes, a few questions I have here yes, blockchain technology is also used in hospitals for effective purpose. Yes, blockchain technology, guys, remember that is a transparent, trustable, immutable, auditable, ledgerable technology, which where there is a middleman, right? Blockchain is there. One is the currency part, absolutely that the cryptocurrency is always there, where you have to transfer the digital currency is already there. Apart from that, imagine that right, you are running on an application, you are doing on an application, and you want to implement blockchain. Means things that right, whether it is required. For example, I'm storing a data which I don't need a trustable, right? For some example of data which you want to store, like I'm talking about a random data, like going into a mall and then doing some data transactions, and you don't want to store that. I don't need a blockchain there because it's just a reference. But if you want to do a blockchain, means that a decentralized, let's say the decentralized database where there should be a trust. That way it is. That is one question, right? Absolutely, blockchain is a must to every industry, not only a healthcare industry. The future, I'm talking about in 2-3 years, when blockchain is moves from hype to reality, people will start implementing this. Like recently, India, like some governments are already adopted for e-voting, like kind of trying on that. Like how can I do this land registration, and then these all aspects already they're trying to do that. Yes. Switching to latest thing, I mean the list of things which are shown in PPT is must to survive in the industry. Yes, absolutely. These are, it's not about to survive in the industry. You don't need to need to know all this thing. No one, right? For example, if you see, right, I have been in the market for last 5 years in this new emerging technologies. I know, but if I cannot say that I have to be a master of every technology. It's good to know, but master 1 or 2 technologies, which is your current focus. Like for example, I'm a computer science graduate or computer science professional. Yes, for me, mostly AI suits to me. I'm an electronics. For me, it suits IoT. So like that, you have your technologies biased, and then you can start doing that. Yes, good, fine. Yeah, that's as I rightly say, as I was saying, that blockchain technology is right now experimenting in Indian banks and outside banks. Yes, banks are trying to adopt, like, because every transaction in the banks today has some interest, right? There's every transaction there is a money cut. You also know that there's a peer-to-peer transfer. I'm transferring the money. There's some transaction charges they're doing it. So governments or private banks are seeing how this entire digital currency can be transferred and this entire transaction should be avoided. So yes, banks are planning to adopt this blockchain technology and then do a digital currency of it. But as I said, you're right, it will take some time. It's not today. Today, they are still working on the POCs. POC is nothing but a proof of concepts, the pilots, whether this technology is feasible or not. So the reality will come sooner. I'm just saying that in a couple of years, people will see banks, hospitals, automotives, manufacturing, smart cities. You might be hearing that Dubai government by 2021, they want entire city to be on blockchain. Like our governments, if you see also, right, like investing on the blockchain technologies to see some of the industries to be blockchained. So yes, there is a very bright future if your application, or if you're trying to do some application, right? If you think that you want to try and see to implement this technology, please go ahead. I've not used the word anti-redundant as of now. I'll say that the data in the blockchain is decentralized and it's secured. I'm saying that it's trusted. Once that data is there, you cannot delete the data. You cannot fuzz with the data. That is what the beauty of the blockchain is. Okay, so said that, right, I'll park the questions for now. So let's go. Now what I'll try to do is I'll just give you the overview before I know some of the people might not know it. What is artificial intelligence? What is machine learning? What should I do in the machine learning? So I'll give you a little bit overview of machine learning and everything. Maybe 10-15 minutes I'll talk to that. And later 10-15 minutes, like we'll talk about this blockchain thing. And then later we'll directly jump into the use case. Again, guys, I can see more than 160 people here, right? Again, I can see hardly questions from few people. Again, I assume that, right, you are new to this, or like you don't understand this, or like you are thinking that I can ask the questions at later point when I understand it, when the session, when the webinar is done. So please, guys, please do ask questions. That's where you will know that what type of whether you understood, whether you don't understood, where you are lacking, so that it gives us to concentrate more on the questionnaire part of it, like what exactly is expected from you guys. That is one of the blockchain technologies more secure. The hacking, right? The hacking of the data is very negligible. You cannot, like, yes, you can hack the data, but it takes time before hacking it, right? The new block is created and it becomes very difficult for the hacker to hack the data. That is what blockchain is. One of the features of the blockchain is that the moment you put the data on the blockchain, yes, your data is not hackable. That's what the first answer they'll say. That your data is not deleted. See, it's not online, offline. Everything is a transaction. It's a transaction-based system. If you say that if it's a transaction, it can be used an online transaction, offline transaction, database transaction, or any transaction. Absolutely, it's a transaction-based system. I'll not use the word online. Online can be misleading. It's a transaction-based system. You can do that. Again, okay. Let's come into our AI and blockchain, which is our session, which we are talking, which you people are here. So I will divide into 3 buckets of entire AI. The world is data science world, machine learning world, and artificial intelligence world. If you can see this, all these technologies, or I know you might have seen a lot. The screenshots are already there available. I'm talking about, right? Because you might have seen that if you're into the AI world. I know most of the people are into the AI world and they have been working on the AI for quite some time. So my suggestion to is just I'm just trying to give you who are new to it, who are not into this world of, I want to know what exactly is data science, what exactly is machine learning, why should we learn, and what is the prospects of that, what is the future cases. So I'll try to do that, and then give you the overview of the artificial intelligence one. Okay, so remember, guys, see, what is a data science? Data science is mostly be for the computer science graduates. The first preference is computer science people, because it involves maths, it involves a lot of algorithms, it involves a lot of softwares, it will involve a lot of additional statistics, probabilities. So the first preference is for the maths graduates or computer science graduates who are base of that. For them, it's a very easy piece of cake. Okay, but one of the misleading, I'll tell you, whether whoever is listening, right, there is a misnomer here, right? Because 80-90% of the market who are trying to learn is only concentrating on the technology and the coding part. Guys, remember that. Please don't concentrate only on the coding or on the technology, because it's not a rocket science. If you, for example, I will give you, right, most of the, you have this GitHub where the code is available. You have the Kaggle, which you have the data set, right? You have the Jupyter, for example, to run the part, to run the tool, to run your application. What are you doing? You're copying the code from GitHub and executing from the Jupyter or an Anaconda environment, and you are showing the output. What is the intelligence you are trying to hear it? So my recommendation as a word is, you have to think in the data science world. When you say data science, there is a knowledge part of it. What is the knowledge? Like, you have to understand the data. I say that because I'm coming from the industry background. I know what industry is expecting. So if you can think that, right, what is data? Like I'm talking about more on the Kaggle data set. I 90% don't ever see it what the data set is talking about. what data set, like the simply says data set is available. I am developing an algorithm and my output is there. Please guys, please don't do that. If you are learning, learn in the right way. What is the right way? Is understand data and replicate the data as an output value. If someone is asking, for example, the credit card default, you have to explain that, okay, I have written an algorithm that will give you, right, whether the customer is defaulted as a credit card default or not. No, you have to explain in the business terms why that particular credit card person is defaulted. But the knowledge domain is required. When you say knowledge domain, data, understand the data. Because it's not a rocket science. Again, I'm saying that because you know, right, how the credit card default is not paying, like he's not paying regularly, he's not paying 6 months, he's paying once after call. So there are a lot of other factors you can take, you can look into that. So like that, please guys, knowledge and domain is very, very important in for an AI guy. That is one of the takeaways I will tell to everyone, right? Whoever, most of the people don't say that my artificial intelligence, my coding is important. Yes, is absolutely important, as well as knowledge and domain is important. Yes, as absolutely math, statistics and everything is a bread and you have inbuilt into that. Only thing you don't have is the knowledge and domain, which is very specific to the industry. Okay, concentrate on that. Again, a high level perspective, guys. I'm not going to dig deeper into that. I'll give you a little bit glimpse of that. So entire machine learning is divided into 3 buckets. The first is nothing but your supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning. So there are other things which you can try and see that. But again, as I said, I'm only putting the slides which are like Bible. You take this one slide and you will understand the entire machine. If you are new, where to start? Yes, take this and start. This is to me is 0. From there, you can start next steps. What to learn? Like for example, in regression techniques, what type of regression techniques I have to use? What type of classification techniques? What type of clustering techniques? What type of neural network? So this entire aspects of algorithms you have to know. Because when you want to develop the coding, remember guys, you have to identify. For example, I'm talking about the credit card default. Example, I'm giving the same example, which is very popular in the market. The credit card default. Okay, guys. Right now, let's little bit go into that because we are running out of time. I'll just quickly follow it because we have to go into the demo part, and then maybe we have to like the time may not be so sufficient to you. So again, let me get into the artificial intelligence word. Like you have taken the machine learning, you have the supervised, unsupervised, reinforcement learning, you have classification, you have regression, and you have other techniques like you have to identify. Like that in artificial intelligence also, we have 2 type of very important, which is nothing but your most into your computer vision techniques. So like in computer vision, we'll go more into the artificial intelligence, computer vision, image classification. Like you have NLP techniques. You have a robotics process automation. So, so those are the things, but in our demo, we'll see more into the image classification. In artificial intelligence, image classification will be seen into this. Okay, so again, repeatedly, I'm saying you guys, right? If you have some questions, please use the chat window. Again, when you say which one to use, right? You have machine learning, a deep learning, right? Artificial intelligence is more of a deep learning. So if your data is more of a labeled text data, I'm talking about more of a labeled text, labeled, unlabeled text data, you try to use more on the machine learning techniques. Like for example, a time series data, you're getting it out. You have a text data. People strongly recommended you have to see the pattern. You go for machine learning, classification, regression, or some other clustering techniques. But if you have more of the image based, like convolution neural networks, which is like for example, like voice based, like there's this speech to text, text to speech. For example, of that aspect, we have a video based classification I have to do. Then the strong recommendation is artificial intelligence, in that you have to use CNN techniques or RNN techniques. These are the different techniques you will have available. So these are the main difference when to where to use. And inside that, there are a lot of algorithms, like a lot of libraries you have to install. That is pure technical, but the high level, this is the aspect of that. Yes, the slides are already with ma'am, and then yes, absolutely, the slides can be shared, absolutely. Again, little bit blockchain. I'll quickly jump into the blockchain world because see that is the high level which was shared. In the blockchain, as I said, you trusted, distributed database, decentralized world, transparency, immutable. Now what we have is known as the blockchain 1, which is a 2009 cryptocurrency world, and blockchain 2, which is nothing but a smart contract. Smart contract is nothing but your handshaking things, right? Agreement. Smart contract is an agreement. Like when you agree to do something, that is a smart contract in blockchain. Is in a normal word is an agreement word. So finally, today is a DApps. DApps is nothing but your front end. DApp is nothing but I know you might have developed mobile apps. Mobile apps is a is not a distributor, a decentralized, is a centralized database, like a centralized apps. So what this do is nothing but decentralized apps. Means the same data can be shared. For example, now I might be having telemedicine, right? For example, they want to do a decentralized data so that your data is secure, right? Because you are in the healthcare, your data, you're talking to a doctor, right? So remotely, because no one can go physically, I cannot go. If I want to do remotely, people are recommending to do a decentralized so that your data can be like, for example, you have a doctor A, doctor B, doctor C. So you can share the data, all the 3 persons, and you want to share to only 1 person, and the other person should not see the data. But in a centralized, yes, it will be done. So this is one of the example in healthcare. This is quite popular, how this decentralized apps can be taken care of that. So what are the platforms, guys? Remember now the technology, like I can develop this particular blockchain on an Ethereum. I can develop on Hyperledger. I can develop on IOTA, or I can develop on IPFS. It's up to you based on the application you want to do that. Ethereum or IOTA. For example, you are using an IoT data. IOTA rightly fits into that. For example, you have an enterprise supply chain management. If you're more into the supply chain management, and then want to track and trace of entire, like for example, farm to farm. Today, the best example today, you are not planning to go out and eat something outside because it's a social COVID scenario. But if someone gives you that authenticity, clarity, saying that whatever you are trying to use, guys, I can see some screen thing. Please don't do anything on the screen because it's not clear. I know sometimes it goes, so please take care of that. Okay, so what I mean to say that Hyperledger is a platform which is developed by IBM, which is mainly used to track and trace of your products. For example, you're eating something, you want to see it from where this food is coming, whether it's coming from India, from outside. Like you're eating some meat today, the challenge is meat. The meat is coming from India or from outside. So you want to know that. So that is one aspect where Hyperledger is getting popular now. Like for example, Walmart is using it. IBM Popular is using these technologies and then working with different applications. Like I said, Ethereum is one more, and IPFS is a, so in our application we'll use an IPFS, which is an interplanetary file system. Is a decentralized one. Like you, for example, you might have heard of SQL, the SQL, like any other databases, like Postgres, like that. IPFS is another bad database on a decentralized. Okay. This is one application. Why I'm putting IPFS, we will see this. So in our example, we will see what is IPFS and what IPFS is one decentralized database where your application or your data is stored. Data storage. Today, data storage is to me SQL. Like in blockchain, data storage is nothing but IPFS in layman terms. Okay. So said that, guys. So we'll go into our use case. Now I'm done with the part. So before we jumping into the use case, in the next half an hour, I'm going to cover the use case, and then I'm going to cover the demo of that. Like one small application, we'll try to see it, how this AI and blockchain can be implemented. So which you can replicate on your system, which you can replicate going forward on your project, or you can take some examples from here and try to come up with an architecture, or try to talk to your management or talk to your peers and come and work with an end-to-end application. So guys, any questions before I jump into the use case? Yes, I strongly recommend some of, I think, right, I can see screens, right? I think Zoom is allowing us to draw some screens on the screen. So please, please don't, it's not clear. So guys, before I jump into the use case, I can take an application. Guys, do you have any questions? Please use the chat window. Okay, so the use case is absolutely very simple here. See, I know today's I like most of you people, right? I'm giving a small example. Most of the people today are using biometrics. You know that you're going somewhere and using a biometric and entering, or else in a bigger like organizations like in IT professionals, right? You have an access card, you go to the access card and you go inside that. So for example, right, how about using our face? Like, you know, you have a lot of facial detection, right? Your mobile has a facial detection which unlocks you. But can I develop a global application? Can I develop an application where I can use it in my college, I can use it for organizations, or I can use it for companies, where automatically it detects my face and automatically gets me an entry. So that is what small application will develop, and then I want to put that image, for example, into an IPFS environment, like saying that, hey, okay, the person is coming is Vijay, and that Vijay is like, I know, like today I don't need Vijay, but for example, you are taking an image and then that is he's a culprit, and tomorrow I want somebody is coming to that like some police verification or criminal activities are happening, and then I want to show them, nice, this is put on a blockchain, means the person who is coming and captured by my system is authentic. Somebody cannot delete, or like tomorrow when the data is recorded, like everyone has a clear transparent system into this. Yeah, I understand that, right? Because I am not sure, because guys, some of the recommendations from the team is please don't write anything because somebody is trying to use, because I know, please don't, because the screen is not visible. Please don't write anything on the, like don't write anything here. Please listen to the session.
Sir, you can disable that annotation from the participant, sir, as a
Okay.
host.
So what is this application, right? As I said, you right. I have given only an education sector and automatic attendance system where we are using an AI and blockchain. It's self-explanatory. We can just try and see that, and which we are using computer vision deep learning. So here, what are the techniques as a technical you have to using? We are using a CNN techniques, convolutional neural network technique of artificial intelligence, and we are using the libraries known as Keras, TensorFlow, NumPy. And from the output as the visualization, what we are using is we are using Flask. And on the blockchain, we are using an IPFS. So if you understand the entire technical architecture, what we are trying to use is first point is nothing but your the entire the technique we are using is CNN technique. The libraries we are using is Keras, TensorFlow, NumPy, and for this intent part, right? I'm talking about more on the web UI. We are using a Flask, and finally the blockchain is IPFS. Guys, this is the entire tech which I put into it. The application is that, right? The challenge today is in a remote today. The happening is because of the remote, because no one needs to touch any hardware device. So
Sorry for the disturbance. Can you please disable the annotation so that no one?
can I disable annotator? Is there anything
Yeah, yeah.
option?
Yeah, is there, as a host, there is an annotation option to disable.
I'm just saying that, right?
Also, please make everyone what we call
Okay.
mute.
So let me continue into this. So this aspect of so this is the problem, and now what we are trying to do is we are coming with a solution. So guys, also remember when you develop a project, because I'm coming from the industry perspective, use case perspective. When you develop a project is also a use case to me. First, you have to identify the problem statement. Why the problem statement should be important to develop an application for you. remember guys, once that application is developed, and what are the tools and technologies you have to implement that particular application. For example, what is the requirement? Hey, I need to have an AI application. Means what tools I have to have, what technologies I have to use, like computer vision, deep learning. In the computer vision, deep learning, what is Keras? This is software to me, right? And the blockchain, I have to use more of an IPFS, which is again, guys, remember this entire soft as I say. So what we are trying is we are trying to create an autonomous system. Guys, remember with this entire concept of AI and blockchain, today we want to create an automatic or autonomous system, irrespective of examples I given, right? It can be criminal activity identification from your image or a video. You can take it. Attendance management system. It can be doing automatic flow for man. So there are lot of applications, right? With the same application, with an image classification, you can do n number of. For example, in the recent, if you are into this, right? Like you might have seen, right? Lot of through your pictures of your like lungs or whatever it is, right? They take a picture of your lung, and then they can say whether it's is a COVID patient or not. Yes, it's again image classification. Any image, they're using a convolutional neural network. So my suggestion is that, right, after this webinar, you go and see your applications, right? Where exactly this can be fit into your application. Like an made of it can be an individual. It's your wish to use an AI and blockchain, but you can go standalone technologies. You can absolutely go and implement AI, or absolutely you can go into blockchain, or a combination. It's up to you. Okay, so said that, right? This is what a basic application. So I'll give what I will give a little bit go into deeper insights. Like this is a little bit of IoT. If anyone is interested in IoT, because here we are assuming that the data is already taken. Now for application demo, the data of the pictures of what we are talking about, right? We have already taken into that the images to train. But if anyone wants to create a real time, please go, and then this is an IoT to me. You can just go. This is where I'm giving an example. I have put it right over there. I'm not going to deeper into this. As I said, you right. Flask is one option which we have absolutely used. Flask is, I know if someone is asking you like wants to know what is a Flask. Flask is a web front end for developing an application of UI where it gels with your machine learning. Any artificial intelligence or machine learning application, you want to do a deployment. Remember guys, you want to deploy on web. To see the front end of application, you need to have a server, which is nothing but a Flask server. That is what Flask is. It's a simple Python written in Python, nothing to worry about. This is not new jargon of languages. A simple Python language, you have to work it out, and like you have to start the server of the Flask, and then everything is working right over there. Again, the basic background to learn this Flask is a simple HTML based Python language. That's not a rocket science here. You can just easily learn that. Okay, so the main aspect which I want to try and see is this. Okay? This is where you partition. So the entire, remember guys, the entire bucket of this entire application is divided into 5 tabs. Remember, I'm numerating it. Just listen to me for the next 5 minutes. This application will give you the entire logic of anything you want. If you want to develop any AI project or AI blockchain project, follow these 5 steps only, nothing more than. First step is, remember guys, first step is collect the data like data sourcing or data collection point, data generation points, data, how I generate the data. Step number 1. Step number 2 is nothing but, you are right, how do I train my data? The training of the data is very, very important. Step number 3, right? The prerequisites of this entire application. For example, I have to install libraries. I have to install Keras. I have to install like TensorFlow. I have to install Flask. I have to install Jupyter. So what are the prerequisites? That is step 3. What are the prerequisites I need to know on this particular application? Fourth is I need to write the web UI application. Like I'm talking about the front end application, Flask application you have to write, because there is an API. You have to write the logic to call this at the training part. See, and then fifth one is nothing but your testing. That's it. If you can try and see these 5 parts, you are done. So again, if you want to add a blockchain, is the step 4 has an added blockchain. In the API, you can add a blockchain component and push the data to it. Okay. Again, I'm repeating you guys. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Again, in a very, very simple words. This is the Bible steps to you. That's it. You take any application. Remember, guys, you take any application, irrespective of any, means you are talking about image classification from healthcare, smart cities, education. These are the steps. First, get the data. Second, install the prerequisites. Third, train the data. Once you train the data, you get the weights. Fourth, write the API logic, which is nothing but a Flask API logic I'm talking about. Like, or else you can put a web UI logic. And the fifth is end-to-end testing. If it is an AI application, if it is an AI and blockchain, first 3 steps will be the same. First, capture the data, for example. Second is nothing but all the prerequisites. Third is nothing but train the data, web UI, and integrate blockchain there, because you have to integrate there only. And fifth is testing. So clear, guys? So we will see all these 5 steps in our demo. That's it. What I'm going to share you is that I will run all these 5 steps and the application is ready. Now you can finally test it. When I say this aspects of thank you, Raghu. Yeah, now that's annotation is disabled. Perfect. So guys, I told you, right, these are the steps to be in mind. So little bit prerequisites. If you are new to this world, if you want to become AI, as an example, I'm talking about it. If you want to become an AI guy, you want to work on projects of AI, please remember you have to learn these tools like convolution neural network, the Keras libraries. I'm talking about more on the Keras libraries, TensorFlow libraries, and NumPy libraries. These are the prerequisites you should know. You should install it. These are the installation phase. Once the image is captured, yeah, this is nothing but finally we have to look more on the classification, which is nothing but the IPFS part. Yes. So as I said, you right, AI again to a deeper kind of things. This is a high level talking about, right? For I'll give you a little bit lower classification, because how do I need to learn this? Step 1, I told 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In 1, where are the data sources? Step 1, remember guys, step 1 data sources can be your Kaggle data set. Step 2 can be data sources of IoT. These are the only 2 data sources which are available. Step 1. Step 1 is what? Collect the data. Again, step 2, I'm talking about prerequisites. In the prerequisites, go to your Anaconda installation. When you install this, right, your Anaconda or your machine, where your folders are there, install Keras, install, for example, I'm talking about, you need to install Keras, you need to install Python. Python is a mandatory. You need to install TensorFlow, and you need to install NumPy. These are the 4 installations you have to do that. If you have to install IPFS, if your blockchain is there, you have to install IPFS. Step 2, remember guys, again I'm repeating. Step 2, installation of libraries. In 2, part 1 is Python, install Python, install Jupyter, install, third is Keras, install, fourth is TensorFlow, fifth is nothing but your NumPy, sixth is IPFS. There are 6 steps you have to follow in the second part. Your environment is ready. Third thing, in the Jupyter, which your code is there, the CNN code should be executed to create the weights. Step 3, open Jupyter, run the code, and finally put it onto this particular part. which I'm going to show it to you guys. I'm just repeating it. And the demo, I'm going to show all these things to you. Like, because why I'm just giving you this information is you just keep it in your mind. But and I show you the demo, you'll see right what I'm going. Like I'll tell you that, oh, this is step 1, this is step 2, this is step 3, this is step 4, step 5, and I'll run the execution part. Here we're not going to deeper into the coding part. I show you the code, but explanation of the code will take so much of time. So we are skipping the coding part, the explanation of the coding part to you. Okay, so again, 4th step in the there is a web UI part where you have to write the logic, like the HTML, the output. How should you, like if you are good at JavaScripting, HTML scripting, you just need to write an output string and you will get the output. Finally, 5th point is nothing but you have to do a testing. You have to test your images there, and then you have to see it what output you're getting. Clear, guys? So this is an architecture. If you can see that, right, I have given you an end-to-end architecture. It's up to you which one you want. For example, I have taken an IoT, I have put it in cloud, AWS. After that, I have used my AI, right? And I have used a Flask. And here I have integrated to a mobile also, and I have integrated. So, but in our example, because it's an AI and blockchain example, I'm only showing you that, right? The Keras, which is nothing but AI, Flask, and IPFS. But this is an end-to-end application which I'm trying to, which involves IoT, mobility, blockchain, and AI. Guys, before we go and jump to example, right? Demo part. See, one of the asking why Flask and a beautiful. So beautiful soap. Flask is beautiful soap is for the data aggregation, data collection tool. Like for example, have a Twitter scraping data. You will use beautiful to collect the data. Like I want to do the Twitter sentiment analysis. In real time, if you want to pull the data, we will use a beautiful soap there. But Flask is just a server which is mainly used on the UI part. Like for example, as I said, you're in the 3rd part, you have a model creation. Your algorithm should be consumed. That you have to push it to a front-end application. Like for example, you're using a mobile, right? You're using an Android, you're using so many things, but at the end of the, like your APK file should be installed and it has to connect to the external world to pull and push the data. Like that, Flask is a tool, which is a front-end tool, which absolutely connects to the back-end tool of your, that is where you write the Flask. Flask is used for that. Like your Django is an alternative to Flask. Flask is a low end and Django is a high end. So that's the difference between a Flask and a beautiful soap. Guys, if you don't have any questions, I'll keep on to the demo. So please, if you have any questions, please look into that. Okay. So guys, we are entering in the last 10 minutes. I'll finish it off. I'll just complete by 12:15. Ma'am, is it okay, ma'am? We can continue in the next 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, okay, sir.
Yeah. Fine. So we'll just complete in the next 10 minutes. I know we are just just need some more time to complete this. Guys, please bear with me a second. I'll just stopping the share and I'm sharing you the code part of it. Guys, this is the folder. If you can see, able to see the screen, right? This is the prerequisite mandatory file should be there to run your application. As I said, you right? First step, I'm repeating, I'm going with the steps which you have to run. Step 1, right? This is my images. These are my images. As I said, you right? Using your beautiful soap or using your mobile, using your IoT. This is the step 1 you have to do and collect the data. This is step 1. Okay. So, but here we have connected through IoT, but the same images can be like, if you don't know IoT, You can connect, you can take the images from your mobile also. That can be a source of, because guys, remember, this is not a Kaggle data set. Guys, please remember, this is a custom data set which we generated, because this is my photos. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to create a custom data set from the custom real-time data set. We are trying to run this algorithm. We are trying to create an AI and blockchain on top of it. Okay, so this is step one. And I said, as I said, you right, these are the, if you can see the screen, right? These, so are you able to see the screen, guys? Okay, so if you can see the screen, right, you have this TensorFlow, right? These are the, yes, okay, good. So as I said, these are the TensorFlow, Flask, Keras, OpenCV. These are all the libraries I am installing. This is step 2. These are already installed, which you can try and see, guys. You can just try and implement that. This is step 2. Libraries are installed. Okay, so if you see, I'm not going to dig deeper into this. I'm just going to show you the screen. What are the steps which we have done into this aspect of this? For example, if you see, right, these are all, I'm quickly taking it out because this is a demo which we, I want to just show you, right? This is Raspberry Pi installation process. This is a Raspberry Pi IoT. This is a Raspberry Pi which we need to install, prerequisites. So if it is an AI, you have to do this. This application, you can install an Anaconda or Python, and you can just do that steps. This is an AI. And finally, this is blockchain IPFS setup. Okay, so this is more of a coding part, but as I said, you can ideally do this installation, like it's available. It's not, as I said, this is not a rocket science. It is available if you want to learn on your own, right? This all prerequisite installation is easy to you. You just need to run the, you can take any article or YouTube or whatever, you can try and see that you can do that. Okay, step 2 is done. Step 3 is nothing but your the Python file, right? I'm just giving you, right, this Python file should need to be like, if you are Jupyter file, if you are new to the world of artificial intelligence, Jupyter is a Windows based execution tool for your algorithm, the CNN algorithm part of it. Okay, so please guys, you can just see. I'm not going to dig deeper into that. So I'm just, this is a step 3. You have to run this Jupyter file to create these weights. So if you see that, right, this is the model weights which I have created, Vijay and Vijay weights. This is step 3. When you run step 3, you have to get a weights model should be done. So my step 1 is completed, my step 2 is completed, my step 3 is completed. My step 4 is this code you have to write, because now you have done all this. So now I have to, this is the code which I am talking. Okay, so these are the files and everything which you can code, right? This is what which we will see here. We are calling the paths, these models, we have raised it, right? And then we have called this Vijay weights, right? The model which you are created, we are using this. And finally, what we are trying to do is, here we are trying to say that, right, what are the folder we are getting, and finally we are rendering it as an output. So this is the code for the 4th step. The 4th step is calling that API, writing an API, and then which we are trying to generate it. Okay, so this is my 4th step. So in this 4th step also, if you go to this is what my, if you are Java guys, I'm talking about Java scripting. This is what my UI is. This is all my UI. Okay, so now my fourth step, I have written the logic, I have written the code, I have written the Flask API. So now finally I have to test it. So now what is the testing I have to do? So guys, let's run this folder. So I'm just running. So guys, if you can see the screen, I'm just running. So just what I need to do, right? I need to run that Python file. I just said you, right? That fourth step I have to run. That's it. So once that is absolutely, it is coming there. It is saying my local host is absolutely there. So what I need to do is I need to go there and type localhost 500. See guys, this is what my UI is. I have shown you that the static index.html, right? I have written the logic here. So now what I take my picture, right? And I will see my picture here, and I'll take one picture I'm talking about because I'm VJ. I'll upload it. See, my input image is there. Its name as VJ because I created an and my IPFS link is, because this IPFS link is my link, which is my is a decentralized which I have already installed. And my installation process I told you, right? Just to give you a little bit insights into this is, if you can see this. Yes, you can see the screen, right? So here see, this is what my logic is. If you can see the code, and this is what I'm just pushing my data. Once the image is captured, I'm pushing this into my IPFS. Guys, it's just a small demo I'm trying to show because this is already configured, tested, and then we have done all the exercises. I'm showing it to you in a small 15-minute interval time. But my saying is like, okay, let me once you have seen the day output, right? That's what I'm just saying. This is what this output looks like for you. Okay, so guys, so with this, what we have done is we have completed the entire demo part of also. So in a nutshell, right, what I will try to do in the next couple of minutes, I will make like a outcome of all these things, right? Like just a brief final output. I'll tell it to you guys, and then we'll go to the questions. Right? Absolutely, we can go absolutely after that, right? Because we are just running out of time also. Guys, this entire AI blockchain webinar which we have learned, we have the first part of that, right, we have understand like looked into the entire digital transformation or digital emerging technologies. In that we have known like 6 C's, right? And there are absolutely 15 technologies, and out of this there are 6 C's. Like for example, create, collect, communicate, and then analyze, and finally the choice part of it. The 6 C's. After that, we have seen the architecture, how this entire sensors to edge to cloud to AR, VR, which is visualized. We have seen that. And absolutely after that, there are different applications, which you also know that there are applications it can be used in manufacturing, energy, automotive, industries, retails, and everywhere these applications can be deployed. This AI blockchain can be deployed right over there. So apart from that, what we have also seen it. What is the entire Bible? See, still I'm saying that Bible, that one diagram, which absolutely ma'am will share it with you, keep it into that, right? Which is an IoT plus AI plus blockchain, and that's for different applications. And finally, next we came with a use case. We have taken an example of automatic movement detection or automatic human presence, or like your facial detection. For example, it can be different applications where we have taken, remember again, we have imbibed 5 steps. Step 1, data collection. Step 2, prerequisites. Step 2, prerequisites, library installations, and then software installations and everything. Step 3 is training of the data. Step 4 is nothing but your web UI application development. Step 4 is testing. Okay, and once in the demo we have seen that, right, how we have shown an end-to-end application where this data, again in this entire aspect, IoT is not covered because the sourcing of data we have taken or from our photos, like which is the custom data we have taken from a mobile or whatever it is. But it can be taken from IoT, or it can be taken from mobiles, or it can be taken from Kaggle. Kaggle is the best source. 80 to 90% you take an application until unless you want to develop a custom. But my recommendation to you guys is that, right, try to create a custom data set, because if you do it from Kaggle, right, it's all. What is the innovation you are trying to bring? The data is not a real data, is available there, and it is done by so many people. So you have to look into that kind of an aspect. Okay. So please, guys. So with this, I will stop my webinar here. This is the end of my webinar. My recommendation is, if you have any specific questions, we'll use the chat window for the next 5 minutes, and I'll hand it over to Madam Garu, to Lakshmi Garu, to conclude the session. Satvik, this particular URL, this is done on a local, right? This application, what we have, this is done on a local. That's what you have done as a local host. This is an on-premise application. This is not a cloud application. Yeah. So yeah, I think, right, Lakshmi ma'am creates, shares all the slides to you. Not a problem. That's not a thing. Okay. So any more questions you have? Guys, before we say goodbye to all, so do you guys have any questions? Again, as I said, as Lakshmi ma'am has given into that, I'm available on any, like I'm available on LinkedIn, I'm available on social media, networking site. You type my name, Vijay Gunti, you can connect me anytime. You can ask me questions, it's not a problem. And again, we are very connected with Lakshmi ma'am, or also, right, like the college premises, and then so please feel free to connect to me for any questions going forward. If you have any specific questions, please do let me know. Okay, guys. So anyhow, Lakshmi ma'am Garu, I'm handing it over to you. So I don't see any more questions from the team, from the group. So I'm handing it to you now.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. I would like to thank our distinguished speaker, Mr. Vijay, for making excellent presentation and making this seminar interesting and meaningful. Yes, sir.
Lakshmi Garu, we are done
Tell me.
done. The session is done, and then
Yeah, sir.
we can just conclude. We can have a conclude comments, conclude
Yeah, okay.
statement also.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
We cannot hear. I think somebody is speaking, and then we cannot hear from Rishi.
Participants seems to be having technical glitches. I think Vijay also has some. So we'll try to do one. We will consolidate the questions, get the answers from the speaker, and we'll send it across to you along with your time. Thank you so much for joining the session. Yes, Vijay.
Yeah, you can hear me right now, right? Because I think some of my speakers are so you can hear right now.
Now I'm able to hear because there are a few questions from the participant. So what I thought was I'll consolidate the questions, send it across to you, and then we will send the their certificates.
No, absolutely,
Sound good?
absolutely, absolutely. That should be fine.
All right. Thank you, Vijay, for your great insights on AI blockchain. I think it was an engaging session, and I was seeing a lot of questions, and that was really interactive. So they did understand the concepts of the whole PPT and the presentation you have given. Looking forward to have more sessions. And we will take the feedback and also share it with you as soon as possible. Thank you so much for your time, Vijay.
Thank you, Lakshmi. Always, right? Always, I'm for you and for the management, Rishi. I am.
Thank you. Thank you. I
Thank you
appreciate
for
it. Thank
organizing
you.
this, and thank you to all joining us and joining and then having a good, very excellent feedback. I'm happy to communicate and come back to you all, you guys, and share some more sessions, any aspects. And again, as I said, please feel free to connect me, LinkedIn or any aspects. Please feel and connect. Not a problem.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah,
Sukirti
thank
ma'am.
you. Yeah, thank you very
End
much,
the
sir.
session now.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I deem it's a great honor to propose a vote of thanks to all who have helped us in making this seminar such a resounding success. Once again, I thank all for your cordial cooperation. Thank you. And in tomorrow's session, a webinar will be conducted on advanced Python training and VR training. See you all again in upcoming session. I request all the participants to fill the feedback form I have shared in chat.
Ma'am, please consolidate the participants' questions. I hope you have taken them.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You can send it to me. I will pass it on to Vijay.
Yeah,
We'll
sure, ma'am.
send the certificates. We'll consolidate and send it to them. Okay. We
Yes,
will
ma'am. Sure,
close
ma'am.
the session in another 6 minutes. Meanwhile, you
Yeah, ma'am.
finish the feedback form. Thank you so much.
Lakshmi ma'am, you can take the host from me because I think I'm just leaving.
Sure, Vijay.
Yeah, then, like host is me, so maybe right if I leave it, right, maybe the session maybe, so you can just ask.
Yeah, you can make me host and you can leave, Vijay. Thank you.
Okay, just see. No, all right. I think I not.